Hey guys, it's Daniel. How's it going?
Hey, it's Molly.
So we're here to remind you and refresh you a little bit on the 5 tracks for elementary PD this year. And we're really excited about doing this. So let's just get right to it. The first thing that I wanted to ask you about is the Prepared and Equipped Educator track. What is that?
Well, the simplest answer to that is that we'll walk you through to become Google Certified Educator Level 1, 2, or possibly even Instructor and Innovator. It gives you and your students a lot of agency. You know, you become very flexible and fluid in the 21st century environment that they are growing up in and that we are currently in. We're not preparing for the 21st century anymore, we're in it.
So what if teachers really like that track, but maybe they want more? Can they do stuff also beyond that, or how does that work?
You can go to and Google it, and you can find all kinds of video resources and things to prepare yourself ahead of time and see all the other things that Google has to offer.
And we're going to put the link to all of the list of this stuff that you can expect to learn about Level 1, Level 2, and then possibly doing the Trainer and or Innovator in the description of this video, so you can click on it and it's Google's stuff about it. So yeah, that's it.
All right, well tell me about the next track, about Connected Educator. What would a teacher need to do that?
So Connected Educator is all about getting connected, obviously, but we're going to hit Twitter really hard. So if you haven't heard, Twitter is kind of where educators connect, right? It's really, really powerful. Everything I've ever done just about outside of our district has happened or originated via Twitter. So we're going to hit that really hard. And if it's something that's always kind of scared you a little bit, this would be a nice time to get over that hump. But we're not going to stop there. We are going to start thinking deeply about all kinds of new things, including FaceTime, Google Hangouts. What if, for the eclipse coming up, what if we found another school system in the path of totality that was in a total separate continent? I don't even know if that's a thing. Is that a thing?
Maybe definitely a different country.
Yeah, maybe a different country. And then you could connect your classrooms and you could use really cool tools like Flipgrid or something like that to connect with them and do interesting things together and learn together and get a really deep understanding of the worldwide learning based around an event. So those are the types of things we'll be doing if we do Connected Educator. One of the big things is that we really want to focus on not just getting teachers to be connected, right? But we also want to focus on your students becoming connected. And so the question that I'd like to pose to you guys is, how can we expect our students to be global agents if we ourselves are not? So that's something that we really want to focus on with you if you choose that track. Yeah. What about the next one, Innovative Designer?
Oh,
we kind of talked about PBL, and they have the handout, but what else can they expect?
Being an innovative designer is more than that. I think it's being able to take your classroom environment and design it around your students. What environment do they need? And what kind of experiences they need to be able to go out there and take those real world problems, pull them in and solve them together. I mean, this is the epitome of Quad D learning.
So this is Quad D learning. It's the blue thing at the top right. And this entire framework is called the Rigor Relevance Framework. A lot of you have seen it, especially if you've been to model schools or something like that. But this is a big focus for us. So you'll be studying this graphic and what it means a lot if you choose this track.
And so I just love that, you know, in project-based learning, the gist of it is working backwards from the true modern 21st century students' needs and building from there. It's very differentiated for each one of you as a teacher. It's going to be very diverse and very individualized.
Yeah. And we don't know necessarily what this is going to look like yet, and that's okay. So if that stresses you out, try to let it go because we're going to figure it out with you. What's next?
All right. Well, you know, I think even taking a next step, you know, you're innovating in your classroom and you're connected, and also, but you're ready to tell this story and your experiences to the world. And I really want to learn more about creative storyteller. I'm not quite sure what that looks like. What does that look like?
To me, creative storytelling is critical. I've always felt like I was sort of a storyteller ever since I was a little kid. But the deeper and deeper I get into education, the more I realize maybe I have something to say, right? And so maybe people do need to hear some of the thoughts that I have going on, especially if it's thoughts that I'm bouncing off of my partners in education and it's gotten pretty good. So how do you get your story out there? How do you convince people? How do you inspire people? How do you change people's minds about things? And make no mistake, people do need their minds changed about things every day, especially when we're talking about little kids and the way that they are learning, right, in the 21st century. So Creative Storyteller track is going to be all about learning to do graphic design, especially if that's your preference, learning to do video production like this. It's pretty easy, you know, you can get over the hump pretty easily, so we'll focus on that with you this year. Maybe it's about blogging. Maybe there's something else that you have in mind that you want to do to help get your story out there and create some momentum. Now, one of the things that we're really going to be focused on in all 5 of these tracks, but especially this one, is this model, and you've probably seen it for like the last 3 years off and on. It's connect, partner, create, and share. We think that all 4 of those things are critical to innovation in education and probably innovation in any field. And so without the create and share aspect of your idea getting out into the world will never happen, right? So we're going to partner with you to help you get through the create and share aspect. And also I think it's important to note that teachers, including us, are inherently humble, right? We do what we do and we do it well with kids. But we've got to learn to shed ourselves of a little bit of that humility so that we can be willing to step outside our comfort zone and try to make an impact. So that's going to be part of Creative Storyteller too. Now, if you really have that inclination and you're really thinking, I want to make an impact, and that's where your head's at right now, then the last one, Reflective Leader, is for you. So how do you get momentum for your ideas? What is this going to look like?
I know you need to involve more people than your students in your classroom.
Yeah. So maybe you have a great idea. You've already experimented in the first 9 weeks with kids on that idea, and it went really well, but it needs some work. Maybe the Reflective Leader track is just the thing you need to push you over the edge, to get you to find the other 4 people in your building or across the town or across the state who want to do that with you, and then you can create a big snowball effect with that idea where more than just one person is doing it, and then if you creatively tell that story, we've made a real impact. So those are the 5 tracks. Did we leave anything out?
I don't think so.
Probably though.
Probably.
Yeah, but the rest of it, there's a handout attached to this email, and there's a Google form. Remember, in the Google form, you can choose one. We urge you to choose one, but you can also cherry pick other items from another track. So if you want to do the Reflective Leader, but you also want to do the Google certification thing, that's fine. Check those boxes, and we're not going to kick you out of the session, even if you don't sign up. Remember that. Thanks, guys.